1. What is the primary goal of supported employment as defined by the Association of People Supporting Employment First, APSE? A. To provide sheltered workshop opportunities for individuals with disabilities. B. To help individuals with significant disabilities obtain and maintain competitive integrated employment. C. To offer volunteer positions to people who cannot work in competitive settings. D. To create special employment programs separate from the general workforce. 2. Which principle is most central to the discovery process in employment support? A. Conducting formal assessments in clinical settings. B. Learning about the person through observation in natural environments and conversations. C. Reviewing previous employment records and test scores. D. Having the individual complete standardized aptitude tests. 3. According to the Americans with Disabilities Act, ADA, what constitutes a reasonable accommodation? A. Any modification requested by an employee regardless of cost. A modification that allows a qualified individual to perform essential job functions without causing undue hardship to the employer. C. Changes that benefit all employees equally. D. Accommodations that completely eliminate all job requirements. What is customized employment? A. A standardized approach to job placement. B. Employment where the job seeker is placed in any available position. C. Individualizing the employment relationship between a job seeker and employer to meet the needs of both. D. Part-time work arrangements only. 5. In the stages of change model, trans-theoretical model, which stage involves the individual actively modifying their behavior? A. Pre-contemplation. B. Contemplation. C. D. Maintenance. 6. What does competitive integrated employment require according to federal guidelines? A. Work in a segregated setting with others who have disabilities. B. Employment at or above minimum wage in settings where most coworkers do not have disabilities. C. Any paid work regardless of wage or setting. D. Volunteer work in community organizations. 7. Which job development approach is most aligned with person-centered principles? A. Applying to all posted job openings regardless of the person's interests. B. Using only online job boards to find positions. C. Building relationships with employers based on the specific strengths and interests of the job seeker. D. Limiting job search to entry-level positions only. 8. What is the purpose of a job analysis in employment support? A. To determine if the job seeker has the exact skills currently required. B. To identify essential and non-essential functions, physical demands, and potential accommodations. C. To find reasons why the person cannot perform the job. D. To reduce the employer's expectations of the position. 9. According to best practices, how should natural supports be utilized in the workplace? A. Natural supports should replace all professional employment support services. B. Natural supports should be developed and encouraged to promote long-term job retention. C. Natural supports should only be used in sheltered workshops. D. Natural supports are not relevant in competitive employment settings. 10. What is job carving? A. Reducing work hours to part-time only. B. Restructuring a job by reallocating tasks to create a position that matches a job seeker's strengths. C. Creating unpaid internship positions. D. Placing multiple people in the same job. 11. Which assessment method is most effective for understanding a person's employment preferences and abilities? A. Standardized IQ tests administered in clinical settings. B. Situational assessment through real work experiences and observations. C. Written questionnaires completed independently. D. Reviewing school records from 10 years ago. 12. What is the primary purpose of benefits counseling for individuals receiving SSI or SSDI? A. To discourage people from working. B. To help individuals understand how employment will affect their benefits, and to make informed decisions. C. To eliminate all government benefits immediately upon employment. D. To recommend that people avoid competitive employment. 13. In motivational interviewing, what does OR stand for? A. Objectives, actions, results, solutions. B. Open-ended questions, affirmations, reflective listening, summaries. C. Opportunities, assessments, resolutions, strategies. Outcomes, advocacy, resources, support. 14. What is the dignity of risk in the context of employment support? A. Preventing individuals from making any mistakes at work. B. Recognizing that individuals have the right to make choices and experience natural consequences. C. Taking unnecessary risks with people's safety. D. Avoiding all challenging employment opportunities. 15. Which legislation established the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act? Emphasis on competitive integrated employment. A. The Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990. B. The Rehabilitation Act of 1973. C. The Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act of 2014. D. The Fair Labor Standards Act of 1938. 16. What is systematic instruction in employment support? A. Random teaching methods without structure. B. A structured approach using task analysis, prompting, and fading to teach job skills. C. Verbal instructions only. D. Having the employer train the individual without support. 17. What does presumption of employability mean in employment services? A. Only certain people are capable of working. B. All individuals, regardless of disability, are presumed capable of competitive, integrated employment. C. Employment should only be considered after years of preparation. D. People must prove they can work before receiving services. 18. In person-centered planning, who should lead the planning process? A. The employment specialist exclusively. B. The individual receiving services with support from chosen team members. C. The funding agency representative. D. The individual's parents or guardians only. 19. What is the purpose of a task analysis in job training? A. To prove the person cannot do the job. B. To break down a job into small, sequential steps for easier learning and instruction. C. To make the job more complicated. To eliminate the need for any training. 20. Which strategy is most effective for addressing workplace conflicts? A. Avoiding the conflict and hoping it resolves itself. B. Immediately removing the employee from the workplace. C. Addressing issues promptly through direct communication and problem solving. D. Always siding with the employer, regardless of circumstances. 21. What is job shadowing and when is it appropriately used? A. Following someone at work to observe tasks and workplace culture, used during job exploration. B. Having someone else do the individual's job for them. C. Secret surveillance of employees. D. A replacement for actual employment. 22. According to Social Security work incentives, what is the purpose of a trial work period for SSDI recipients? A. To immediately terminate benefits when someone starts working. B. To allow beneficiaries to test their ability to work for at least 9 months while receiving full benefits. C. To reduce benefits by 50% immediately. D. To disqualify people from ever receiving benefits again. 23. What is the principle of least intrusive support in employment services? A. Providing maximum support at all times. B. Providing only the level of support necessary for success, promoting independence. C. Providing no support regardless of need. D. Making all decisions for the individual. 24. In developing a career portfolio, what should be included? A. Only academic transcripts and diplomas. B. Work samples, references, certifications, and examples demonstrating skills and achievements. C. Personal medical information. D. Social media passwords. 25. What is job restructuring as a reasonable accommodation? A. Creating an entirely new position that didn't exist. B. Reallocating or redistributing marginal job functions. C. Reducing wages below minimum wage. D. Eliminating all job requirements. 26. Which approach best describes employment first? A. Sheltered workshops are the first option for people with disabilities. B. Competitive integrated employment is the first and preferred outcome for working age individuals with disabilities. C. Employment should only be considered after all other day program options are exhausted. D. Volunteer work is preferable to paid employment. 27. What is the purpose of informational interviews in job development? A. To apply for a specific job opening. B. To gather information about an industry, company, or career path and build relationships. C. To demand that the employer create a job. D. To criticize the employer's hiring practices. 28. In supporting workplace relationships, what is the role of the employment specialist? A. To be the individual's only friend at work. B. To facilitate natural relationship development between the employee and coworkers, then fade. C. To prevent any interaction between the employee and coworkers. To speak for the employee in all situations. 29. What does self-determination mean in the context of employment support? A. The professional makes all decisions for the individual. B. The individual has the authority to make choices and control their own life and services. C. Waiting for others to determine one's future. D. Refusing all assistance regardless of need. 30. Which data collection method is most useful for measuring job performance and progress? A. Collecting data only at the beginning and end of services. B. Ongoing systematic data collection on specific measurable objectives. C. Relying solely on memory and informal observations. D. Only documenting problems and failures.